Hello, everybody. Luis with Let's Do This. Once again, another trade recap here. Um, Rough day today. Still came out green, $22, but it wasn't the easiest of days. Um, I was very busy at work today, and maybe that, and now that I say it out loud, I should have taken that into consideration. Having as many meetings as I had today, I should have stayed away from the market more than what I did. Um, I just had this eager feeling to trade, and I think I just ended up forcing some trades. Um, and somewhere one was a loser. I actually traded. I took four trades today total. One, two, three. One of these is a cancel transaction or canceled order, and four. So I actually, and you can see on the bottom here, the green ones is each time that I got filled in an order that I clicked the buy button. So I took four trades today, which is I think the most I've taken so far in a single day. Um, and yeah, let's just get started. The very first one was a loser, 10:59 in the morning. I got the 391 puts, and I got filled at 93 cents, and then sold them at 75 cents for an $18 loss. Just keeping it as tight as possible. So 10:59 to 11:04, about 5 minutes. And I remember this one clearly because it was pretty much right in this candle. Um, to begin with, I'm not a fan of when a stock is grinding this way. I mean, sure, had I gone long here and held, I would have been making money each time, but the grind, I don't know. I just don't have, I guess, the patience. That's just not in my personality. So I want to be able to get in, get out. Yes, there are times when let's just say hypothetically speaking, if I got in somewhere in here expecting a short, and I had to sit through some choppiness sideways, right? Um, because maybe I have a stop loss of one of my mark levels there, and I had to wait for the trade to work. Okay, well that's different. But if it's a grinding day like this, I feel like all right, well, you can kind of get in on some pullbacks, make some money, then kind of get maybe faked out. Like, oh, is it gonna drop? Is it gonna go? I don't know. It seems very difficult for me to. I find it difficult to trade grinding days. Um, so what I was looking for was sort of as you can see, it's obviously uptrending, sort of a break of, and I don't have it drawn here, but it kind of a break of a imaginary trend line here. And this candle here had the looks that was it. It's such a strong candle because the other red candles were not really that big. And this one finally just flushed. So this is the one candle where I got in, expecting continuation of further flush, possible test of EWAP. Obviously, right, that candle didn't happen. I was in the trade for only about 5 minutes or so. As it started moving up, I realized, you know what, this is sort of a fake or a bear trap, if you will. It just caught me there and faked me out. So I got out for an $18 loss, and then what I ended up doing a few minutes later at 11:12, I flipped to buy calls at 393 calls because he was reaching that level there, and I got those at 116 and sold those about 4 minutes later, and at 126. So that's 1112 to 1116. That will be, let's see, 1110. So between these two candles here, maybe these three candles, um, as it started breaking 393, I really did not was not expecting it to even go much higher than what it did anyways. I had this weekly level marked as a low from a couple weeks ago, and with 393 being a whole psychological, it was the very top, as you can see here, the high right there, the very top of that, of this wick, this candle on the dot 393, and then that's when it rejected. And then it sat here for a couple of minutes, just looking at the 1 minute chart. It just kind of sat there until finally broke through, and you know, it's already high, and it's been grinding. And because I recognize that, okay, well, this thing is just grinding, is not ripping crazy, I got in, took my few cents, got out, and that one was, let's see, I'll bring that back over here, SPY. So first one was a loss for $18. Then that next trade, 393 calls, was $11 of profit. So I was down still negative $7 at that point. Then I took another trade, and this was around 1:30, lasted for about 15 minutes. And let's see, what did I get there? I got some puts, 388 puts. Got them at 74 cents, sold them at 88. This one was also sort of a, let's see, 130. This was really a chase. I was here when this was happening, and I thought to myself, possible crossover of the EMAs crossing over VWAP, which is a purple line that you see there. And I hesitated. I hesitated because of this stupid grind here. Made me think that, you know what, maybe this is just a pullback to VWAP, and who knows, this thing might just bounce, and next thing I know, it's just ripping through the highs, and I'm stuck in a short. So I didn't take it. It dropped. I'm pissed that I didn't take it. So finally, it's pulling back. I was getting a little impatient, but recognizing that this was extended to the downside, and this was truly a chase if I got in here. So I got in here on this candle, 130 candle. I said, let's see, 130.03, so pretty much right at the beginning of that candle. Having this green candle here, expecting a rejection of that 5 EMA, which is a green line. It dropped. I was green for a little bit, then it pulled back again to the top, and at this point here, I think I was down about 35 bucks or so, and I was kind of looking at my overall account, and it was, what I said to myself was, okay, at that point, when I took the trade, my account balance was 540, I believe. I can't remember exactly, but I said to myself, okay, I'm not gonna let the account go below 500. That was my max. It actually got to like 502 on this here, and I was ready to, or actually on this over here on this week, and I was just about ready to pull the trigger and say, screw it. I think it got me again. And, I drew this trend line. It started coming back down. I drew the trend line, and I figured, okay, well, let's see what's going to happen here, because it started dropping pretty fast. And as soon as I cracked, got this little flush here, and at the very bottom of this, basically, um, let's see, 45 actually. Um, so 145.08. So it was really at the beginning of this candle. Um, this close here, and then those first 8 seconds of that next candle, it just started moving up, and I'm like, nope, no way, Jose. I'm not gonna give it all back. So candle started 8 seconds later, it's moving. I just pulled the trigger. I'm like, I'm not gonna wait. This the way it's been trading today. I obviously did not have a good read on it, so I took my profit and ran, and that gave me another $14 right there. So that put me $7 green on SPY after um, fees and commissions. I was basically just only up like $3 on the day net. Um, then it kept dropping. I was like, oh, of course, this happens, right? Whatever. I had to go to a few more meetings at work, anyways. I was done with meetings right at 3:30. No more meetings. I'm like, let me see what's gonna happen here. This thing continues to drop. 387. This flush happened pretty hard. It's extended, and I'm thinking, oh, is this gonna flush again? And I also thought to myself, don't chase, right? Do not chase this flush. If anything, right, this could be an actual bounce area. If I zoom out, I mean, look at it. That's just ridiculous. Look at this. Up, down. That's it. That's just really, and I had these levels from, you know, uh, days ago. So started bouncing here, strong candle, pull back, couple more bounces here. At this point, I'm thinking, all right, this thing is just bouncing and it's gonna probably go to VWAP, right? And I had, um, I'm looking, I'm trying to. I wanted to get on calls, but I did not want to chase on green candles like that. I'm waiting for sort of pullback. I almost did it here when it ripped here, kind of pulled back again, just not having the greatest read in terms of what I was doing previously. So I did not pull the trigger. And this is SPY that I'm looking at. And I'm actually looking at, I was looking at tomorrow's expiration at this point um, to avoid any craziness with zero DTEs. Finally, right in the last 10 minutes, it occurs to me, you know what? This thing is ripping like crazy, and where can I get in and just make a quick buck is SPX. And I know I said the other day I need to stay away from SPX, but this type of craziness is one of those where the volatility in SPX is just insane. So as soon as I kept this chart open, but I flipped my options chain on SPX, and the next on this last 5-minute candle here, right there, the next level up to be in the money was at 39.20s. So 39.20s was still out of the money, but that was the next one that was coming up. And let me see, I still have, this is SPY. It's taking a little bit to load here. All right, so yeah, so pretty much just like this. As you can see, it's not really in the money. It was the next one to be highlighted. And it actually closed cash settle at 120. I would have, had I not sold it, I would have made a little bit more money. But what I ended up doing, it was around 50 cents, kept going from 50, 45, 60. Then 60, 65. So what I did is, it was moving so fast, I put a limit order down to for 45 cents to get fill on a drop. And I figure, if it drops, and at that point, I'm also looking at the 1 minute candle. And look at this, it's 3:57, last 3 minutes of the day. And if I flip to the 1 minute here, so 3:57 is this candle here. And let's see, I got in towards the end of that candle. Then 3:58 happened, and he had this little pullback and sort of fast movement. At some point, it was like 25 cents worth the one contract that got filled, but it was moving so fast, and I figure after this push here, there's just no way this is gonna flush. It's gonna have one final push. So I started pushing, and before I even got there, I said, you know what, I'm gonna put in a limit order at 60 cents. And sure enough, after this here got filled, ripped through it, it actually got to, I saw it print 150, the contract. So, but whatever, I made my $15 in literally just a minute. So I was like, hey, that's better than being red. Did I take a risk? Sure, I could have lost the $45 and being a bigger hole. At that point, I was only up $7 on the day, minus commissions and all that, and it would have been a $38 loss if I had let the $45 expire, on the day. So, but it was moving so fast, and I figured, let me just try to get a little something here and get my account a little bit bigger. Not the greatest trading day. I think 4 trades is too much, and I think I also got a little bit some of that frustration that I had that lost in the morning, and I was trying to make it back, and every time I tried to make it back, it was just a little gain. It wasn't too big, and I was just, it was sort of an emotional roller coaster, right? I didn't have a good read on the SPY overall, and I just kept timing it wrong. So, and the short that I got, which was my very first trade, had I held that, right? Let's see. Where's that candle? Oh, this is a 1 minute. Sorry about that. I mean, I got in on this candle, had a bit more patient, and again, have a stop loss of maybe that weekly level and let it work out. It would have definitely paid off. But so much grind, I figure this thing is just gonna continue to grind. I'm like, forget it, so I might as well, I'd rather, I mean, I don't mind being patient if it's going sideways, as I said before, but if it continued to go like this, up and up and up and just stepping up, then I was gonna lose more. So I'm happy I kept my stop loss at a tight place, and then the rest of it, well, it wasn't easy to get through, but I got through it. So eighth consecutive day green. Not too big, but hey, green is green. Better than red for sure, my friends. So let me tell you. Thanks for watching, guys. Looking forward to tomorrow, another day. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to drop a line below and I'll respond. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to follow me on this journey. All right. Have a good one, guys. Good night.